Alright YouTube, this is Big Germ's Garage once again. This video is going to be part of a series that I'm going to make. If you go back to one of my first videos that I made back in January of 2011, I went around my garage showing some of my projects and stuff, and over in the corner over there was my 1974 Norton Commando 850. And I actually had a lot of people that emailed me and sent me messages or comments, or just told me, the people that I actually saw that had watched some of my videos, they wanted me to pull this out and get to working on it. I haven't worked on it in a while, so I'm gonna title this series Reviving the Norton Commando 850. This is part one. I'm just gonna walk around and talk about it real quick, and talk about what I gotta do to get it back on the road, which isn't a whole lot. It shouldn't take that much of time and that many videos to do it. But anyway, this is a 1974 Norton Commando 850. I believe it's a Roadster. I bought this bike back in about 2000, I'm going to say 2002, maybe 2003. I actually found it at a yard sale. I bought it for $1,500 from the yard sale. It did not look like it does now. It was pretty much all original. And I've done a lot of work to it. At the time that I bought it, I was 23, 22 years old. I drove it for about maybe 3 or 4 months, just on every now and then, not on a regular basis. But every time I drove it, it seemed like some kind of electrical issue would happen. So I decided to take it apart and rebuild it. See, just over 9,000, almost 9,500 miles. Decided to rebuild it and take out as many of the electronic pieces I could, so that they wouldn't go bad anymore. So in doing that, I replaced a lot. Actually, at the time that I bought this, I did have a Ducati Passo. I think it was 88. And between buying parts for that and buying parts for this, being that my dad actually sold British parts, he did that for about 30 years or so, J&R British Cycles. So if you were on the East Coast and went to any British shows, you might have seen him at some swap meets before. Since he actually sold parts, I was able to get the parts for this a lot cheaper than I could for the Ducati. So I decided to keep this and work on it. So I'm going to go over some of the things that I've changed since I got it, which is a lot. I took it apart. We painted the frame this silver color. The tank side covers have all been painted. A little dirty now, a little dusty. It has custom chrome. You can see actual chrome decals that I had made for this and for the side cover. I've got a Corbin Gunfighter seat, which was put on there. The handlebars, clubman bars, those were on there. The master cylinder was rebuilt. It's got a new headlight. All that's new. New front fender. New brake pads and everything there. New tires, front and back. The exhaust was new at the time. I had a lot of carburetor issues, and the header pipes have turned different colors from messing with it. So one of my next things that I'm going to probably do at some point is replace the header pipes, because they have become discolored because of struggling with the carburetors for a while. But anyway, new exhaust. One of the newer things I've done is I've got the steel oil lines there. Let's see, I've got a leak valve here on the fuel line to keep the oil from going back after it cuts off. Right now I got the Mikuni single carburetor on it. I've got the Amels, and I'm debating on whether or not to put them back on or leave the Mikuni on. I'm not sure exactly yet. I don't have the tank off, so you can't really see it, but underneath here, that right there is a single coil. Usually has two coils, two chrome coils that come with it. But that is a single coil that breaks off to supply both the spark plugs. So I've got a single coil. And if you look up in here, you might be able to see it. Boyer electronic ignition is in there. That is the black box. Actually, the first one I tried was the red box, and just couldn't get it to work right. Couldn't get it to run the way it was supposed to. So when my dad took this black box off of his BSA and let me try it, it ran fine. So got rid of the red box for the Boyer, and now I have the black one on there. I have new clutch plates, bar nut plates, new clutch lever. In the motor over here, I've got a new Sparks alternator. I guess high output Sparks alternators in there. Let's see what else. I believe it's a new chain, new backlight, an entirely new custom wiring harness that we built for it. K&N filter in there. The reason we redid the wiring harness is because I had so many problems, and by putting the Sparks alternator, the Boyer, and the single coil that supplies the two plugs, we were able to take a lot of stuff out, like the rectifier and some of the other electrical parts, components. So this wiring harness that's on this bike is pretty much the bare minimum. If I could take it off, I took it off. If you notice, there are no turn signals, being that this is a 1974 in the state that I'm in. I've got antique tags on it, and so I don't have to have it inspected, and I don't have to have turn signals since being its age. Or at least that's the hopefully that's the way it's supposed to be. I think I remember that being a law, or not a law, but being how it was. But anyway, nobody's ever said anything. I don't have any turn signals. I think that's about it for what I did. I worked on it for a while. I got it put back together. Got all the new stuff on it. Wrote it some, and since I did all that work to it, I probably have ridden it less than 20 to 50 miles. So now I'm going to go over, I guess, a couple things that I need to do to it to get it running. I do have insurance on it. I do have license plates still on it. So as soon as it's going, I can get it I can drive it on the road, even though it's been a couple years since I've messed with it. Battery is dead, so I need to charge that. The carburetor that's on there, that was one of the last things I bought, and that will need to be cleaned and adjusted. I could put the Amels back on, but they have to be cleaned as well. And they're a little bit, last time I had them on there, the reason I took them off because they were a little bit more pain to deal with. But clean the carburetor, decide which one I'm going to go with, Amel or Marconi. And then once it's going, the last time I had it running, actually when I had that Marconi, when I put it on and got it running, the clutch needed to be adjusted some. So pretty much change the fluids, probably clean out the gas tank, get the old nasty gas out of there, clean the carburetor, charge the battery, adjust the clutch, and this thing will be ready to go. So this was part one of reviving the Commando 850. It's not going to take a whole lot to revive it, just I was going to make a little series. So watch some of my videos, check back later, and be on the lookout for part two, where I'm actually part two will probably be me cleaning the carburetor. So I probably won't make a video of me charging the battery, so that doesn't make not that big of a deal. But I'll probably go ahead and clean both sets of carburetors so you can see that in a video. And then hopefully we can get some footage of this thing running, and maybe break out the helmet cam and get some footage while I'm driving it down the street. But anyway, Big Germ's Garage. Check out my other videos. Subscribe if you haven't, so you can know when I got things, new videos up. You might see some on the Kawasaki KFX 700, the Polaris Scrambler 500, or my newest toy, the DRZ 400 that I'm working on as well. Alright, thank you for watching.